What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's always a huge thanks for coming back. We really appreciate you. So today I'm going to start off with the little production update, I guess, and then we're going to talk to my welder and show you the work he does because it's truly amazing. But as you can hear and see, we've got Chairman Jose, our welder, doing his thing, and this guy can really do his thing. He's an amazing welder, and I kind of want to talk with him and I guess talk you to the process of how he gets these amazing welds, because I truly believe we have the best welds in the industry, and that's not by mistake or anything. That's just because of all the effort that he puts into these welds and into giving you guys the best product we can. So let's go talk to him. Not bad. Pretty decent welds. Do you want to talk us through your process?
Well, besides running the right settings, that's about it. It's mostly just pull the trigger and go. Simple thing being a welder. As good as that.
What would you say is the more important thing to welding? Because I know a lot of you guys out there really want to get better at welding. So, do you have any tips?
Times and patience. A lot of prep work. It's not just welding. If you don't have the right stuff prepped, you ain't going to get nowhere where you want to be, because if you don't have a good foundation, you ain't going to build a house correctly. So if you don't have that, you'll be kind of screwed over.
So do you want to walk us, I guess, through your process of getting these beautiful welds?
First I hit it with the grinder just to get the joint cleaned out a little bit more, to get from the previous weld from the backside. So I grind into the material and the weld to go all the way a little deeper in, and then from there I'll hit it with the weld wheel to hit off all the mill scale, all the little draw stuff that the plasma cutter cuts off, all the gray stuff off the corners right here.
So you want it to be shiny, right?
Yeah, you want all that stuff to be shiny, as pretty much shiny as that is right there on the inside. And if you don't, it's just going to be giving you problems. It's going to give you a few headaches, a few troubleshooting problems that it's going to throw out there. If you take 20 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute to clean it up correctly, you're not going to have problems trying to figure out if it's the machine, if it's you, or what's going on. Just knock down as many problems out from the start and just make it easier that way.
Okay. So say we have a kid in high school, and he's thinking about becoming a welder, as a career. Well, first, would you recommend it?
Yeah, it's a good career. There's a lot of jobs out there. You could go MIG, TIG, arc, stick welding, a variety of things with all three of those. You can do a lot of stuff. I just got good with MIG welding, decent at TIG welding. Okay. MIG welding is one of my biggest things I can do right now. So that's one of the things I'm focusing on right now.
He's a pretty decent TIG welder too. So what would you tell that kid, like how to get started in this field?
A lot of people say schooling is the worst thing you could do. Probably, it's a good thing and a bad thing. If you do go to school, it's going to give you a lot of the things, the basics, a lot of basics. It's not going to, depending on what school you go to. I went to a community college where they had a trade school thing, and I did that. And it showed me a lot of the basics. Don't be cocky. There's going to be a lot of better people out there than you. Just see what you could focus on, because what you do better, what you do good at, someone else sucks at, or what they do good at, you suck at. It's just try to figure out what you're bad at, focus on that, and just try to get better at that point. Because there's no point in getting mad and jealous at someone else being better than you, where you ain't going to succeed after that.
And would you say that they need to get out right off the bat, buy a $3,000-$4,000 welder, or do you think they're fine with a Harbor Freight welder just to get started and practice?
A Harbor Freight welder would do pretty good just to get started. Yeah. Just because this one, hell, I'm barely using half the things it can do. The only thing we got it for is the power. Yeah. But just to do little small stuff, 1/8 inch, 16th inch, just to get the basic, get the hang of it, see what you're doing wrong. Big thing is to learn troubleshooting on it. MIG welding is one of the harder things to do. You got liners, you got tips, you got diffusers, you got the cups for it. You got leads, you got grounds, you got a lot more stuff. You can have the wire, you have your gas, you have a lot of stuff. A guy from work, his welder took a dump on him, and he was asking me. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a lot of things, and the thing that ended up being was the gas line inside the welder was messed up, and that's how he found that out with soapy water.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you, and again, huge thanks to this dude. One of the biggest compliments we always get on our kids is that we have beautiful welds. That's thanks to this guy. So leave him a thanks down below if you bought anything from us and you think the welds are pretty decent. That's him. All right, we made him nervous enough to put him on the spot. Let's get back to work or something. Okay, guys, and again, that's kind of a little talk that I wanted to have with Jose, with Chairman, and show you again kind of one thing that we're really proud of. I mean, we're proud of our entire kit, but I think we, like I said, we definitely have some of the best welds in the business. So anyways, I actually want to go ahead and install this camera. It's a dash camera that we got sent, and I was going to install it in the red truck, but I've got something else coming for the red truck that's going to have a dash camera. So I think we're going to put this one in the green truck, because I think it's a pretty useful little tool. So we got to do that. But before we do that, the green truck, there was a battery there. Okay, guys, so I spent the better part of half the day yesterday looking for these damn keys. Well, not these ones, the keys to the dually, and I guess I lost them, but luckily I had a pair of spare keys at the house. So also found our battery that we were missing. So let's go outside and see if we can get that dually started. I haven't been driving it much because, well, one, it's got a dead battery most of the time, and, well, I'll tell you in a little bit. Also, by the way, the struts for the hood have been working great. Okay, we got the battery on. Let's see if it'll start. And hopefully it does, because I don't have any of my jump starters here. Oh, man. It's been cold here. It's like freaking high 30s, low 30s. There we go. And yes, I know, high 30s, low 30s, high 20s, low 30s might not be that cold, but I've worked in negative 30 degree weather before, and low 30s, high 20s, still cold. Man, I love this truck. Like, I love this truck, and it's a shame because I don't drive it enough. I haven't driven it in, geez, probably like 8-9 months, honestly, like driven it. And that's because there's a few problems with this truck that I gotta fix. One of them being I just gotta do maintenance on it. I gotta go through the whole thing, do oil change, transmission flush, all of that stuff, because I haven't done it since I bought it, and I've had this truck now for like going on 3 years, I think, something like that. But the two biggest problems with it is that it's got a power draw somewhere, so it kills batteries. So I gotta find that out. I think that when I wired the head unit, I don't think I wired it properly because it didn't have that problem before the head unit. So I got to go through all that stuff and make sure that all that is wired properly. And then the biggest problem with it is that it developed a coolant leak, and it's coming from, I think, the timing chain cover, so, or like the water pump area, which I think they're in about the same place. So I gotta fix that. And one of the biggest problems that I'm having is I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this thing power wise. I keep going between a couple different options. The ideal scenario, which I don't think will happen because it's very expensive, would be doing like a 6.7 Power Stroke or a 6.7 Cummins in this thing. I would love to do that, but at this time, I don't think we have the budget to do either one of those two things. So the other next best option that I'm thinking is, as I've told you before, this truck is getting F450 axles, and I've been looking at the market, and I can get a donor truck for pretty close to the cost of just the axles. So like a 6.0 F450, totally work model, so like a cabin chassis or something like that. I can get them sometimes for like around $5,000. They say the engines, run, but that's the thing with the 6.0. Well, I don't know if I said, but a 6.0 is what I want to go with. But yeah, I want to do a 6.0 in this thing, and like I said, I can get a whole donor truck for around $6,000 if I look hard enough. And again, the problem with the 6.0 is that I still got to add like another $3,000, $4,000, to that engine to get it to run properly. But I personally think that 6.0s are great engines if done properly, and they sound amazing, which it's like 90% of the reason why I want to go with the 6.0. Like this morning on the way to work, I was at a stoplight next to a 6.0, and I'm like, yep, I think that's what I want to do. So I'm really tempted to buy a whole donor 6.0 450, and take the axles from it and take the engine and swap it into this truck. And I know I'm going to get that comment, why don't you body swap it? It so happens that I'm in the business of selling axle swap kits. So I definitely want to make a dedicated kit for this swap. I just don't know when I'll be able to get to that. But it's something that is definitely in the works. Now, my last option is keeping this freaking god awful. Actually, I love the 460. It's just very expensive to run. 8 miles to the gallon isn't doing anyone any favors. But my last option, and it's something that I have always wanted to do since I was a kid, is basically build up one of these 460s. So what I'm thinking about doing if I keep this powertrain is doing a turbo, doing a full build on this thing, and doing either a 6R80 and I don't think there's an adapter for it yet, but an HP like 90 or 70, essentially the 8-speed transmission that's behind everything. All of the Chrysler products with an 8-speed have it. Most like Land Rovers, BMWs, Jaguars, everything that has an 8-speed is basically that that 8-speed. Which, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's built by CF. But I might be wrong. So yes, it is a CF transmission, which is a great transmission. The problem is that I don't think they have an adapter for the 460 engine. If not, that's probably what I would go with. I absolutely love that transmission. It's in my wife's car, and I really, really like it. And I think it's a great great transmission. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Just keeping this thing, adding a turbo, doing, cam heads, EFI system on this thing, something like a Holly or something like that, like a Terminator, and building a really badass 460. Now, even if I did that, that probably wouldn't be the permanent powertrain to this thing. And that's because I've always wanted a 460, but in like a 79 Ford. So I think I would build this up, and then once I was able to, I would take this engine out, put a diesel in it, and then keep this 460 for like a 79. So that's what I really want. But anyways, again, I absolutely love this truck. I love it. I love driving it. It's so comfortable. And I can't wait to start building it, which it is going to happen this year. At least the axle swap is going to happen this year. The one thing that I kind of am going to miss is that I love this ride height. I would actually love to reverse level it and lower the rear. But with going with F450 axles, it's going to get lifted probably, because I'm going to try and keep stock coils. And I'm going to probably keep it 2-wheel drive. it's still gonna get like a 4-6 inch lift just from doing the swap. So once I do it, since I'm keeping it two-wheel drive and the F450s have, it's still a solid axle, but it's a two-wheel drive axle, so it's essentially just this tube without the pumpkin. So I can still keep it pretty low, which is why I want to keep it two-wheel drive, because I really like this stance. So once we do the whole swap, I'm going to play around with seeing how low I can keep it. And then eventually I would actually love to do an air ride kit on the rear, maybe the front too, but like I said, I love this truck and I want to start driving it more. So I think for now, I'm going to try and at least fix the coolant leak in this thing and then just start driving it again. So again, I love this truck. So anyways, what I want to throw in this thing is, like I said, this dash cam was, now that I'm not driving, it doesn't really do a lot of help. But like I said, I really want to start driving it. And this is actually a really, really cool product that was sent to me. It was actually sent to me last year. And just now I've been able to get to installing it and making a video on it. But again, like I said, really, really cool little dash cam by Venture. This is the Element 1. This is basically their, I would say probably one of their more entry-level dash cameras. They have really advanced ones where you can have your dash camera looking to the front, and then it also has one looking to the front, and then I believe you can get that, and then one that looks to the rear behind you. So again, they sent me this one, which I mean, it's still pretty cool. I already opened it to check it out, and it definitely looks like a really nice, high quality dash camera. This is the actual camera. It's a little bit big, a little bit bulky in my opinion. I think it could have been smaller, but it comes with the screen too. So again, pretty cool. It has everything to install it, and everything comes really nicely packaged. But like I said, I already opened it and looked through everything. But you have your 12-volt cigarette lighter power for the camera. You've got an USB-C or whatever the heck we're at now. You've got that, the actual mount for the camera, a controller for it, a little trim tool. So this should be everything we need to install it. And filming on the interior of this thing's always fun, but this thing's pretty easy to put together. Again, like I said, this is the base. This is the actual, obviously, the camera. And they just slide together. The reason why it has connectors is because this is actually what you connect your power into. And it connects just like that. Now, I'm thinking I'm going to be putting it right here, because that don't drop it like that, please. Because from my point of view, it's hidden pretty well, and I think it's going to have a pretty good view of everything in front of me. So again, it comes with some 3M double-sided tape on it that you just attach to the windshield. So I think that's what we're going to be doing next. So now I guess you don't stick the camera directly to the windshield. You stick this to the windshield and then the camera to this. So again, like we said, we want to put it behind the mirror right here. So let me check again exactly where I want it. I think right about there works. Like I said, it's fun trying to film inside of this truck, and I feel like it's darker than the single cab. You have two sides to this thing labeled 1 and 2. You want to start with number 1. You peel the little film off, and then you stick this to where you want to stick the camera, which for me is going to be right here. Once it's nice and in place, try and get as many bubbles out of it. The camera's not going to see through it. It's just to, like I said, mount it to it. Then we're going to take off the second screen, and then finally we'll take off the protective film from the base so we can stick it to our windshield right about there. And as far as the install, that's pretty much it. We just got to run the power cable to our 12-volt cigar lighter. And that's pretty much done. And like I said, this is basically my point of view, so I don't really get to see it. The passenger definitely gets to see it, but you know, who cares about that guy? Again, the view for me is pretty good. So, and then to take it off, whoops, I guess I didn't stick it well enough. There we go. So this comes off really easy if you pull on the right place. I actually pulled on the base and not this. But let's come back outside where there's actual light, because there's a few features on this camera that I really didn't really talk about. One, it's got its own screen on the back of the camera. Now, unfortunately, it's not a touch screen, but it does have a screen. And then it has GPS tracking, so it should show you your speed and all that stuff. And it films in 2K, I think, or 2.5. Let me see. Anyways, 2K, 2.5. And like I said, it comes with all the stuff you need to install this. So we're going to be installing it just to our 12 volt for now. You can get a hardwired kit, which it's the route that I would go. It's a much cleaner install. Now this control, like I said, is to activate it. The camera, once it's powered on and it's got the SD card, which unfortunately doesn't include, but once it's recording, it's just like any other dash cam. It's continuously recording, and once the SD card gets full, it overrides it. But say that you come across an accident in front of you, or someone bumps into you or whatnot, and you want to make sure that that gets recorded and saved, you can push this button and it'll save that recording. Now that same feature is built into the camera itself. Now again, like I said, this thing's got a screen, but it's not a touch screen. At the bottom of it, you have 3 buttons that will help you control it. So I guess now let's test it out and see how it works. Again, I think it's a pretty cool feature that you can just plug the power to the base and you don't have to actually connect it to the camera. So that's powered on, and then we're gonna simply slide our camera into the mount. And there we go. That is on. So it's powered on. I think this would be, so we gotta choose our time zone. So I'm gonna go ahead and find mine. Okay guys, and just like that, this thing is essentially installed. It's now recording. It looks like the GPS is working because it's saying 0 miles per hour, and everything looks good. We do gotta peel off the lens protector. That's why it looks so bad. Okay, let me do that. There we go. That looks much better. So I think the last thing to do is just to take this for a drive and then review the actual footage in the actual video instead of camera to camera. So let's go see if we can do that. Okay, so let's go and see what this thing does. It does seem to be recording our speed, but that's good. And again, it should be recording my voice, but I'm not sure if it does or not, so I've got my phone as backup. That way I'm not talking just to be talking. Okay, so that was the drive. We'll see how the footage came out. Man, I should have filmed this whole install video outside. It's so much brighter. Anyways, it does seem like it stays on after you turn off the truck. So not sure how much power that would draw, but if it's something that maybe you guys don't like, then you know, something to keep in mind. Again, you can't just turn it off automatically, and who knows, maybe this thing by itself turns off. I'm not really sure. But like I said, I'm gonna do one more thing. I think this thing's supposed to come with an app, so I'm gonna check out that app, try and install it, and then we'll see the footage. Okay, so I just downloaded the app from the camera to the phone, and it's actually really, really well thought out. A really good app because you can control pretty much everything that you need on the camera from your phone without having to like go and mess with it. And then you can actually preview all the video on the app. And then if you want to from the app, you can download all of the videos you want onto your phone, which I think it's pretty freaking cool. I'm actually really happy with this thing. I mean, the last thing I really have to do is honestly just clean up all of this mess of wires. And like I said, I think I'm going to try and get their hardwire kit if I keep it. Again, like I said, this was supposed to go on the single cab, but I actually found what I think it's a better product. Not because it's a better dash camera, but because it's incorporated into a really, really cool upgrade that I think you guys are gonna love. And I'm not gonna tell you just yet what it is, but if it turns out as well as I think it's gonna turn out for the single cab, I'm definitely gonna be getting it for this truck, and it's probably gonna replace that dash camera. And that dash camera is probably gonna end up in my daily driver, which is not the trash can, but the GMC Terrain over there. So, again, pretty excited about all of that. But for now, like I said, great camera. Definitely recommend it. And like I said, on the phone, it also shows you all the GPS data. So it shows you exactly where you went and all that stuff. Which, like I said, I think it's great. It keeps track of your speed, everything. So in case of whatever bad thing might happen, if you get in a wreck or whatnot, you have all of the information that you might need there to maybe try and get you out of trouble or maybe get you into more trouble. Anyways, again, huge thumbs up for this camera. Definitely like it. I'm a fan of it. And then the cool thing about the lighter is that it also comes with a USB port. So obviously with this being an old truck, we have no USB ports at all. So if you need one, it's right there. So definitely thumbs up. Also, if you're wondering why the screen to my head unit is missing, again, like I said, this truck has been parked for the last few months and I didn't want it to be out in the weather. So I took it off and brought it inside. That way it doesn't get stolen or it doesn't get damaged or anything. So it's still working fine. I just didn't want to leave it in the truck. But yeah, again, thumbs up on that thing. Super easy install, super easy to operate. We're going to go ahead and review the footage. I'm going to show you you probably already saw some of the footage as we were doing this video. So again, thumbs up. So yeah, like I said, I actually am really happy with that product. It's really good. And I think it'd be pretty cool to use it on like road trips or like if I go off-roading to try and get just one more angle. So I think if I ever do that, I'm probably gonna take it just to record another angle because the image quality, I think it wasn't that bad, I obviously wouldn't use it as a primary camera, but just to get some B-roll or anything like that, I think it'd be pretty cool. Update on this thing, I finally got the motor from them. I got it running, it's working, as good as it can, I guess. I absolutely love this machine. It's just, for the price that I got it, for being a completely just cheap import machine, it's not that great, honestly. I would never buy this machine again. I would definitely spend a little bit more money to get a better one because they are worth their money. Like they're amazing, and the amount of time that it saves and the quality that it gives us is incredible. So I think this machine, I'm hoping to keep it alive for at least another year, and then upgrading to an actual proper deburring polishing machine. Again, really cool. Wrong Wind was, easy, I guess, to work with. They didn't give me too much fuss over sending me a new motor. It just took forever, honestly. Like, this machine has been down for about 4 or 5 months now, and I've only had these machines for like 5 months, 6 months. So I think it's been longer than that now, but it's been down for way longer than it's been working, which is a shame because, like I said, it's a great machine. Well, it's an okay machine, but it does a great job when it's running. This, on the other hand, been great. No complaints with it yet. Really happy with it. It's just this thing. I know I'm contradicting myself because when it's working, it works great, but like it's very finicky. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. Like it's very, very finicky, and I'm just waiting for it to blow up again. which is a total pain. Also, another update that I want to give you guys, because I know that a lot of you have been asking about it. We're actually shipping to Canada now. We just started this week. We're just getting it all figured out. But if you guys are in Canada and you wanted a kit or any other products we sell, pretty much everything we're shipping to Canada now. So definitely go check out the website. And, again, thanks for everyone that's been so interested in us setting up the Canada stuff. I know that it's taken forever, but again, like I said, we are good to go, I think, to Canada. So definitely super excited about that. And then I think if I have a chance today, it's probably not going to be in this video, but we're going to be pulling this truck back in and then scanning some of the frame so that we can start doing some of the two-wheel drive specific kit stuff with these things, which again, I'm super excited about that. I think it's going to be a really cool product. So we're going to be working on that again, like I said, over the next few months. We're going to be putting most of the effort into finishing this truck. Now by the way, our lead time should be a lot shorter now. We are pretty much completely caught up with all of our orders. So as long as I get to package all of this stuff, our lead time should be under 2 weeks now. We usually try to keep them at about a week, is what our lead times usually are. But we're really gonna try and have inventory so that if you place an order, we can ship it that day. That's the goal. That's what we're working towards. But at least for now, like I said, we're back down to about 2 weeks lead time, which has usually been our average. But yeah, guys, hopefully you guys liked the video. There'll be a link down below to the dash camera. So go check it out. And leave any comments, any questions, leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you for the next one.